Yo, this is the Standout Podcast where everyone and anyone could be a standout. And today, I got somebody, that's fairly new to the scene, but has a lot coming out and is doing a lot of great things. The music I love a lot because it reminds me of stuff I grew up on, stuff I listen to. I got Lil Dip. Nice out the gate with me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
I heard you could rap too, though. That's what I heard.
Definitely, man. I've been,
I saw the interview. You said whatever they said that you used to rap, but even when I told you I ran into someone, Goddess over at shout out to Goddess, but she said that she's like, nah, he could rap.
Yeah, when I was outside, it was different though. It was like back when it was like 2014. I was doing it when I was in high school with Andrew.
Oh yeah.
So I used to leave school and go like perform at like Toad's place, shit like that.
Oh, for real?
So yeah, so like I had shows like I remember my first show ever was like in front of Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh, so you were actually were you in the big room or because there's the lily pad and then there's the bigger room?
There's the. Right. I was in the lily pad point because that's when Lil Uzi first started.
So he was starting too, and he was there.
Right.
No, so, I'm just saying because I had some boys that could really rap they would do it in there too. Right. I mean, dude, Toad's place. That's
what I'm saying, and it was kind of nerve wracking. I remember telling Drew and all of them like being at lunch that day, like, what the fuck am I getting myself into? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's in high school too.
Yeah,
I don't care what, bro. I don't care if you're rapping in the closet, man. That's some crazy.
And it just started to grow from there. And like I said, with the people you work with Drew, stuff like that. Those are the people. It's funny that you're linking with them because
I got lucky.
Right. When I first started rapping and stuff, they were trying to get into music themselves.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about Drew probably later or whatever, but yeah, like, I just by chance got to work with him, I'm older than him, whatever, but we linked up and he was kind of growing as I was growing. Right. Now it's cool when we work together because it's like we're both, we've come a long way. So it's it's good to see how him grow and me grow at the same time.
Of course. But in terms of music, man, you've dropped a lot of music. Your music is kind of just, to me, it grew on me. The more and more Drew sent me stuff, the more and more you sent me stuff because it's got that nostalgic feel, which I like. So talk to me a little bit about, kind of being a part of that and still rapping over those beats and still kind of pushing your pen a little bit.
Yeah, well, I would say that, like, it's, for most people, it'd be weird, start rapping when you're in your 40s. I started, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I was when I just turned 40.
Right.
But I always liked rap. I mean, hip hop's only 50 years old. Rap's only 50 years old. So like when I was growing up, when I was in like elementary school, it was like, Run DMC was big. Even like the Beastie Boys were big. Stuff like that. So I was starting to get, to see some introduced to some different rappers.
Right.
But it was new, so I would really like to. I really got into it, but I would say maybe really when Wu-Tang came out when I was in high school. I mean, I always loved rap though because I was watching Rap City the Basement. I always loved any kind of freestyle, all of it. But I could rap compared to my friends, but none of my friends could rap. So I didn't really know, like maybe I could rap. I maybe wrote like a few verses and stuff, but I never did anything with it. And then also it was like knowing someone with a studio was like, I know they were out there, but like I didn't really have those connections.
Yeah, because I remember, my dad had 4 brothers, and at the time, they were big into LL Cool J and all that different type of stuff.
He was big back.
Right. And Run DMC, and my dad said he remembers their boy had a studio in Hartford on Park Street. Shout out to my Uncle Junior.
Yeah,
and
shout out.
They literally had to build egg crates on the wall. To literally record, and you had one take, and that was it. That was it, and you just had to go.
Yeah.
And he said he did it for like 2 weeks, and after that, him and his brothers cut that shit loose, and we're like, fuck it, man, we're not doing this shit no more.
They were done, right?
Yeah, they were done with it, and so that speaks to it.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I just didn't really know anyone, and there was no like, I wasn't really hearing like these beats. I was more just rapping like in my head and stuff, and maybe to what I hear on the radio. But there was no YouTube beats and all these like access. Now I could just play things for hours, sit in my car and just start coming up with stuff. Sometimes you come up with a little bar and you save it, whatever.
Right.
But I would say, to answer your question, I would say like heavy influence by the Wu-Tang Clan, but like if I were to start rapping when I was younger, I would have totally just been trying to copy them, I think.
Right.
I don't think it would have been like fully my own voice, and I don't think I would have been, you know what I mean? I think I would have been trying to do those like scientific. I like the jizza, so I would have been trying to do that, which I can't even do that. But I could rap, so I was trying to do it like that. It took me until my later years meeting the right people. Actually, just going to the studio one time and recording, and then even then you don't find your voice till a few songs after. But I always liked the boom bap style. Obviously, that's what my style sounds like and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it hit me in a way, hearing you and just knowing Mo G, right? He's
crazy.
He's a super producer, and he's able to go
rapper
back.
too.
Yeah, rap too. He's able to go back into that archive. But I also have to ask you too. I've watched a couple of your different performance stuff like that. Yeah. You're also good with a live band. You remember all your lyrics. You're able to do all that stuff. How complicated is that to do? Like, tell people.
Well, I will say this. Like, that's the tough thing about being an artist is like, yeah, you can do that basement love, and you could like really perform and make your songs. Everyone's talented. Like, damn, I'm around. I don't even need to leave. Like, if we stay over at Drew's, we got lots of talent over there, so I don't even need to leave there. And I feel like, I better catch up to these guys, especially with someone like Mo. Like, I'll have a song and I'll be like, damn, I just need someone to come on this, and then he'll be like, I needed someone to come on this track, and he'll be like, I think I got a verse for this, and he does that for every song. Right. And I'm like, oh my god! And then it's like crazy verse, like insane, just sitting on it. And like, I wish I was like sitting on some stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I try to like have stuff because I've been taught that like you have to have treat your verses like ammunition, have them ready for the right moments. So to answer your question though, you asked me about live bands and the performances. That was the part I did not really look forward to at all. Yeah. I don't like the limelight really. I mean, this is all new to me, but like sometimes when things doors are opening and you're meeting people and you're doing your thing, you got to just go with it. I mean, you're always going to question and people are going to question you, but sometimes you got to just say, okay, I think this is my talent. So a lot of people look for their why, like their reason. Once you find it, just run with it. Going. And don't go by other people's, like some people looking for money or fame. Hey, if it just makes you happy, if it keeps you going, that's a lot. Key to life. That's a lot. But with the performing, basically I started out just doing, I would go to like karaoke places and play Quiet Storm. Oh my god! And I had this verse because my first person that took me to the studio near Bum Park and Park Street. Do you know where that is? Near like the Guilty. It wasn't there at the time, but my buddy, this dude, his name's Evil. Every verse is lethal. He's a dope. Shout out to him. He's a dope rapper and he's R&B too. So he lived not too far from there. And one time he was like, "Yo, I'm going to the studio." He could tell I was down. And we worked together. We used to work together. I work at restaurants and stuff. So he was like, "Yo, I'm going to the studio. You can come with me." But he was more like, you could come with me. He wasn't saying this was before I rapped. Okay. So he's like, he don't even know I rap. Like he's like, you could come with me because he knew it might just get me. That's always the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Get me out of my feelings and shit. So I was like, all right, that'd be cool. Right. And then like I told him on the phone one time, I'm like, yo, send me a beat. Maybe I can come up with a verse. He's like, all right, so he sent me the beat. So right before we went over to the studio, like a couple weeks later, he was like, all right, what's your verse at his house? He's like, tell me the verse. So I told him the verse. I thought he was maybe just gassing me up, like making me feel good when he said it was good. But he told me, listen, this is like a team. It's like any basketball team or any team. He goes, we ain't putting you on the team if you suck. He goes, I'm not going to be on a song with someone that sucks. So then I realized, okay, he does actually think this is dope. We went, recorded. It was a song called Back Up and Bag Up. It's like a play on words with back up and bag up. And I had like this verse. I say this Old Bay verse on it. Is that your girl? That's Old Bay. No season, and every time she come around, she on her knees again. It's like a little thing about something that was going on in my life at the time. But anyways, so it's the Old Bay verse. But so I would do that verse, and then I had an old verse too that I would do, and I would do that to Quiet Storm. So I would just do that. People would probably get okay, but at karaoke, it's maybe not the right place, maybe, you know what I mean? People are looking for, but you got to do it. There's no such thing as you got to get the name out there, you know. So you got to just do it. But anyways, so I would do that. Then this dude saw me doing it, and he was like, "Yo, why don't you come on Wednesdays or whatever the night was?" He's like, "There's this dude that raps." He's like,
shit.
"You should go to the open mic." And this was a place in Manchester where everyone pretty much is just playing an instrument, rock and roll, playing like 70s hits. You know what I mean?
Shit. Okay.
It's not
right.
No one's rapping. So this dude's like, "Yo, this dude raps though. His name's Fatal Book, and he's my boy now. He's a dope rapper." Anyways, yeah. So I went and saw him perform, and then he kind of just showed me like what you do, like with the plug-in, the dongle or whatever it's called, like just the stuff that I had no clue about. Very basic stuff, but I didn't know how to play the music out of your phone or whatever. And so he taught me that stuff. So then I would start performing, but we're still performing in front of places that really aren't
hip-hop
oriented.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. They treat it like, hey, we let one rapper come, then more. They don't want to really, they kind of want to shut it down. But,
yes, sir.
But, I mean, rap is more than one thing, but people don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? No. So anyways, eventually, though, once we got out of I did some performances, then stopped for a while. Then finally, my boy, Fatal Book, ended up going to New Haven. Stella Blues is this place in New Haven.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out Stella Blues. It's like the dopest open mic. It's all types of garage bands, maybe like Grateful Dead type of bands, people playing acoustics.
Wow.
Tons of rappers. So there's people like my boy Jay So Paid. He's like 23. He's like more of the modern rap, hype you up type of music. And his performances are insane. He got energy for days. So him, my boy Fatal Book's there. My boy FTC Miller is more like on some in the clouds type of like astronomical stuff, but not in like the best way ever. He's just a great writer, and he's dope. So he's insane. So sometimes when we all get together, we call ourselves Multiverse, but it's not really a group. It's just we make songs.
That's dope.
So, anyways, to answer your question, started feeling more comfortable because I started going on the regular, and the crowd there in New Haven, they're more like receptive to it. So I started realizing like, I obviously like with my age, maybe even with my color, whatever. When I first would go, I could see people doubting a little bit. Yeah. And I used to feel a little bit self-conscious about that, but then I realized like that's a weapon.
Of course.
I don't want to look like everyone else. Yep. I mean, people looking at me in when I'm talking to my boys in the parking lot, they're like, "Are you his manager?" Like they think that kind of stuff. And I'm like, "Nah, I just rap. I wouldn't even know how to manage." But so that helped. And then there's also a place I go to in Bloomfield. It's called the Hartford Artery. Shout out to them. It's run by DJ Soul Selector and Shayla Moore. She's a artist, poet. She's talented as hell, and so is he. He's a DJ. He's a builder. Hey, he's a carpenter.
Stand Up Podcast always open for you. You know what I'm saying?
These guys are crazy. So they supply like the dopest open mic on Mondays that I would go to, and their open mic is different. It's more like mainly just a lot of artists. There is some people that support, but it's a great place to just cultivate and like grow. And there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of cool DJs that show up, producers and rappers, singers. So I go there. So as you see those videos, like from there, I've been doing that. And from the Stella Blues, sometimes there'll be a band, same as at the Hartford Artery, there'll be a band playing, and then I'll just I'll rap a verse to it. But it's people like, "Oh, did you freestyle it?" Hey, just fitting your verse, from rapping, just rapping to a different beat, making it fit is not easy.
No.
But I find the energy you get from when you have the band is like, there's nothing like it. I get pumped up. Only thing is the voice. You got to work on the voice control.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because like you blow out your voice really easy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember, like I said, performing like my first couple times, and it was just bedlam. You know what I'm saying? And my song at the time, it was done by Accordion. So I had a song called "What You Mean Though" that took off. And I remember the first time they had it, we were at one of these performances. They had a band, and like you had to perform with the band. They didn't have any dongles, anything. And I'm like, holy fucking shit.
So you had to, no choice.
Right, you had no choice. And they're trying to play my shit. My shit's all over the place. This chord's over here. This chord's over here. I'm trying to find myself, and I'm stuck. Much like you said, I don't look the part either. Yeah. So, you walk into a lot of these places and they're like, who the fuck is this narc? You know what I'm saying? So, I walk in and it's like, man, what the fuck is he about to do? And then you got to get on stage. You got to show your ass.
Once you can do it, though.
Right. Yeah, they're with it.
Once they realize that it's like, it's not a gimmick.
Right.
You're not joking around.
Yeah.
And then they realize, whoa, this is kind of like, that's what I've learned from even people that wanted to hate. Like, they would try to throw some shade, and then they'd be like, but they would like, the one thing they would not, even when I had certain times, this doesn't happen a lot, but even when I had times in my life when people were trying to hate, like, they weren't even able to be like, oh, you suck. Maybe they'll be like, oh, I'm going to start singing now because you're rapping because I started late. But they would never be like, you suck or something because they just know it wasn't true.
No way. Exactly. Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be cocky, but like, when you're good at something,
you can't knock it.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I could be like, oh, I'm too old or it's too late, whatever. But like, there's not a lot of people out there like me. Why not? And also, you know, they have the ageism and hip hop thing, but like, come on. I went to Wu-Tang and Nas show last year or whatever, and like, they're killing it.
But ageism is not, because, you know, I have a homie that's close to Benny the Butcher.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And he's about 34, 35.
Yeah.
And, you know, he said something that always stuck with me. He said, Austin, the hip hop I make, I need experiences to rap about. I'm 35. I got advantage over these little motherfuckers.
That's what I'm trying to say. See, I don't know if you could pick up on my music, but like, I've had the experiences now, and I try to actually just like put them in my songs, obviously, and I try to like be positive and try to inspire people too, and even shed some light on some of the maybe difficult times I've gone through, or maybe some of the things I've triumphed through. But I try to be positive. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of young artists that are doing it now. But like, when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing with the music.
Or be able to even articulate it in a way where you are.
Probably not. I just was happy with making words rhyme. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing. You know, I listen to things like Open Heart Surgery. I listen to that song. Yeah. I listen to, I think it's called Neapolitan, if I'm sure.
Neapolitan, yes. Yeah, so it's like the ice cream. Like the ice cream.
Okay. So like those songs to me, when I'm listening to them, it takes me to that point of where the ageism can't really apply because you have so much shit to talk about.
It can't. That Neapolitan, like, that's three different. That's me and my boy FTC Miller. That's the one when I tell you where we do the Multiverse thing.
Right.
And my boy Jaso Paid.
Right.
We, as you could hear on that song, you hear me go first. Then you hear FTC Miller go second. He's making some like Batman references, some others, you know, things in the sky references. And then there's Jaso Paid, who has the more auto tune and the energy, and he's more synth voice and like all different. That's why I called it Neapolitan.
Right.
Is because it's like all different flavors, but it works together.
It works. Hell yeah.
And that's what I realize when I work with other people. They ain't like. The age ain't even coming out, and also, it really isn't coming out. I mean, you see now with like Griselda and all these groups. I mean, also not everyone wants to listen to like whatever, maybe like you know, a 19 or 20-year-old rapper is spitting, but. No shade to them because I like all types of rap.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Earl Sweatshirt is one of my biggest influences.
Definitely.
So I'm not saying that he's liking that, but I'm just saying like I like all types. So I wasn't just stuck with the woo. I
But that must be beautiful to you to see too, that now that you're even working with younger kids, around younger kids, and you're older, to see how far hip hop has come. You know what I'm saying? Like that must you be like not a culture shock, but almost like, yo, they keeping us alive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see that as growing. I'm not one of those that says it. Oh, this is garbage. Whatever. I really don't think that. I think there's great music out there. There's more of it, so you have to search for it now. It's more on you. Who really wants to be fed anyways? Like for years we've been fed what is supposed to be good. Now do a little homework. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Now do a little bit of homework, but. I mean, I like everyone from like a JID, he's insanely talented, to like a Earl, to a lot of talent out there, man. I think that it's not going anywhere. I mean,
hell no, not for.
And being able to rap, like actually having bars, and that's not really going anywhere either.
No, not at all. Another thing that I wanted to ask you, you know, looking at your SoundCloud, you drop a song like every day, man. The consistency is amazing.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's every day, but I'm trying. I mean, my boy Jaso, I got to give it up to him. That dude's dropping it every day. Some of these youngsters, man, they don't even need much now.
No.
They got the phone. Maybe they got headphones. They're like punching in, like saying a couple word.
Yeah.
I can't even do that. Like, I'll be honest with you. It take me a little bit to write a song because I might come up with like a clever little punchline or a little thing to say, but then I'll be like, oh, I'll hang on to that for later or something, and then like idea of a song comes along. But like that open heart surgery, that came kind of quick because I was with performing. I've realized that you want to have songs that are all you. Because if the people aren't with you, it's kind of weird to shut it off. Now, on an open mic, you could stop it. Like, I played my good part and then shut it off. Sometimes I just keep the Moji part playing because I'm like, I want to fucking rock out to it. And people love that shit. Anyways, but if you're doing like a show, because I did my first actual show in Hamden at the Cellar on Treadwell, in September. Right. And they're in control of what's being played. So it's like, not like you can do that. So it's like, I still worked it out to where one of my last songs was one that someone else was on. But my point is, good to have songs that are just you. So I was like, damn, I got to have another just me song. So I kind of got inspired by the open mics. So that song, Open Heart Surgery, is really about the open mics because it's really the open is for open mics and heart is H-A-R-T for Hartford Artery. And then I throw some references about Stella Blues in there. But anyways, that was just like my way of saying, hey, man, like, people, like, that's why I'm going to tell them I rap. They're like, yo, yo, yo. Because some people think it's a joke. Like, hey, I rap. They think rap's a joke. This shit's serious. That's why I say in that chorus, shit is serious, like open heart surgery, character assassination. They tried to murder me. Because it's, to me, it's serious. Like, people, this is sometimes, some of this stuff, like, is what gets us out of bed in the morning and stuff. Like, so I wanted to kind of just give back to them and shout them out. And plus, it's always fun to have like a little angle to go, hey, I'm going to shout these guys out. I'm going to try to figure a way to say this. Right. And I love speaking in code. That's one of the things about rap. You could say like,
that's the best
say
thing
I'm
about
going to the store, but you say it in like the coolest, weird, it's like different way. It's like basic stuff you're saying.
Listen, rappers have made me buy a lot of stupid shit in my life just because of how fly they made it look. The fucking chain, the different shirt. You're not even supposed. I used to wear a 5XL. I'm not even supposed to have that shirt on, but because that motherfucker said it looked fly, I got that motherfucker on.
Yeah, especially back in the day. But that's my favorite thing to do. I would say that like I really like comedy too. So so I really like comedy. So before I started rapping, I had a friend that was like trying to like, he was telling me like things to like focus on and like maybe to do an open mic for comedy and all these things. A lot, kind of almost like a vision board, like of things to do. Right. And a lot of the things I accomplished, like a lot of the things when you look, it's good like to have a list like that because when you look back, when you accomplish it, makes you feel good. A lot of things I accomplished. The comedy didn't really go that way, but I found that just rap replaced it. Right. So it was like do an open mic at like maybe like a Funny Bone or whatever. Do this, do that, and then all of a sudden, maybe not too far after that, that's when I basically the dude like I told you, we went to that first studio, first recording. Then I was working at the store during COVID times because I'm a waiter, but the restaurants got shut down, so I was working in the store a little bit. I saw this dude KB who's friends with Drew. Right. He's like, you should record. He knew I had a song because I was kind of pumped that I had 2 songs. So I'm telling everybody, and they're like, he's like, hey, you should record with my boy Drew. He's in East Hartford, and you know how that is when you don't know someone right away. You're like, what am I going to be walking into? Are we going to be able to work well together? Is it going to be 20 people hanging out? Is it going to be no one? You don't know what to expect. Yeah. But I still just did it, and that was a great move. That was a great move, and. I'm glad I did. So I got to give some credit to them too. I mean, and like you should look out. I'm hoping Drew will drop some of that Baja Rally the next stuff because shout out to him, I should be on like 3 or 4 songs of that. Okay. And the songs are crazy. They have this song called Any Weather that everybody who go to the studio was trying to get on. It was like, I think Drew probably had to like try to, I don't even know if he was able to cut it up because there's just so many people that wanted to be on that song.
You know, the funny thing about Drew is, after he told me about you, he was telling me about, everything that you've done, everything that you brought. He also told me about you that you bring a sense of like almost like an overview of what hip hop not only used to be, but what it could be. And I found that interesting because it's almost like, you kind of know where things need to be. You kind of know, you've been through so much of it, even though you have the 2 songs. Mm-hmm. So speak to, they're in the process of making Super Salad. You're there. They're in the process of making this new album. You're there. What advice have you given them looking from an older view that maybe they haven't got?
I mean, I'll be honest, like, Drew's pretty bright guy.
Right.
I would say we kind of both listen to each other because, like, the reason I like to work with him is because I trust anything. Like, if he tells me, like, maybe slow this down on this verse here, or do this here, or any kind of advice that he gives me, I feel like it's good advice, and I know now through working with him that it is. So when I see them doing their music and creating their albums, I actually just like to be a part of it. I don't really have any. I like to just contribute to the energy. Really, like I think when you did that interview, they say they have things that they kind of want to hit, little points that they want to hit. Right. But a lot of it is like what the energy is that day. Right. Something might happen. There might be a beat playing. Someone might come up with a melody. I might be able to fill in those words for the hook, and then we have like something actually working and the energy going. Right. But I mean, with those guys, I'll be honest. Musically, I know how to rap, but with the music and like how Mo does it and how Drew does it, I don't know it like them with the music and the production wise. So I really can't even tell them much, even though I can tell them what sounds good. Right. They listen to me. They know that they do respect that. When I tell them, hey, this sounds good because of this. Okay. I like this. I like the way that song sounds. And maybe little pointers they listen to. I can't think of any specifically, but they obviously respect my opinion. But I would say it's more like, even though I'm older, we're pretty much, I think that's what they like about me is that I'm not like a lot of older heads or whatever you want to say would be like, a little bit more trying to be in charge. Right. I'm just kind of just like one of them, and we're all working together. Right. I think that's what they kind of respect because they probably not used to seeing that.
Yeah, of course. You
know what I mean?
You know, and I think your name too is so great because you've merged both worlds together, right? Yeah. You're after basically the Big Dipper star, which has been up there forever, and then you put the little in front of it to almost kind of pay reference to Lil Wayne and the younger kids out there.
Yeah, well, there is the Lil Dipper too.
Right, of course.
Never the big. I got beef with the Big Dipper, man. Come on, I got beef with that Big Dipper, man. Lil Dip all the way. No, but so. The names come stupid. I used to just call myself Z in the beginning. When I had 2 songs, I just was Z. Right. And then when I started working with Drew, I became Lil Dip. But it was stupid. I was always joking. So I'd be at the restaurant. I'd be like, I'm 2 trays, because I would carry 2 trays, like 2 chains too. I would just say stupid stuff. Like, stupid stuff. And my dude that I rap with would be like, putting his head, shaking his head. But we worked well together, so he didn't care. But I would just joke around like that with AKA names, but I really just called myself Z because my name's Zach. Right. So I was joking. This story isn't even funny, but I'll just say I joke around. I thought it was funny at the time, probably having a drink or 2. I'm talking to this girl that works in a lot of different restaurants, and she knows a lot of people in the restaurant industry. Right. And she kind of helped my name grow because her name's Kelly. So I was talking to her. I'm like, basically, I don't know if I'm going to have a video or whatever. If I do have a video, and I'm just joking, I'm like making a stereotypical video thing. I'm like, I'm going to have so many girls in it, which isn't even like my thing. But I was like, I have so many girls that you can't even tell it's me because I told you I don't really like to be in the spotlight. So I was like kind of saying that stupid shit. And I was like, the only way you could identify me is my freckles will make the Lil Dipper sign, which I think they did. I don't know if they really did. But I thought I'm trying to be clever. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, shit, I like that. She's like, Lil Dip. So this is someone that is she didn't just forget about that. So I ended up working. I changed jobs after COVID. I ended up working at a place where she knew a lot of people. One of her best friends was. And she would call me Lil Dip every time I see her. So when her friend saw me, so everyone in the place, Lil Dip. And then it took me a while. Man, so it took me a while. As a grown man, honestly, at first I felt weird when I'd be in the store and people come in. When I used to work at the store, I'd be like, yeah, I got music, because I'd be listening to different stuff, and they'd be like, oh, I do music too. Or I'd be wearing a shirt or something, and then they'd be like, what's your name? And I'd be like, Lil Dip. But I felt weird about it. But over time, and then he called me LD, Lil Dip, and now I go with they don't want to swim, they just want a Lil Dip. I say that in a lot of my songs. And if you hear in this last song, Open Heart Surgery, I said something about the bag of chips.
The bag of chips.
I go, it's got the rap game looking like a bag of chips because it's always better with a Lil Dip.
Yeah.
So I try to throw these funny little things in there. I like to play with it. So I found, though, you got to listen to my song Superhero, because that goes hard, and that one has Moji on the end. Just listen to that one. That one goes crazy, but that one is like in the first, I go, I'm not a superhero, but I got 2 names, and I say that in the beginning. But my point is, like, I find having a name that's like, it's cool if you have a name like J. Cole. I wish I could just name myself my name, but for me personally, it works for me to have a name that's separate,
right? Because
you can play with it, and also it's like, somehow it just helps with the confidence too. Like I tell you, I used to not feel so comfortable with it. Now I feel like, no, I am Lil Dip. And when I go places, people, hey Dip, hey Lil Dip. Like if I go to, I'm talking about when I go to places that they know me. I'm not talking like going to the supermarket and everyone knows I'm Dip. They're probably just like past the Dip, you know what I mean? Like they're not talking. I'm just pretending that they're talking to me, but you know what I mean, right?
I get you, man. That's dope.
I grew into it, so that's how the name came. And then nice out the gate, I've been trying to get some merch. I'm putting the cart before the horse.
Gotcha.
So I'm getting, but I do it just because it's something I never thought. I never thought I really even care about that. But when I had my first song with the Old Bay, I had this coolest shirts made that said Old Bay BAE and had the crab and the Old Bay like seasoning thing, and then it said no seasoning. I'll show you sometime. It said no seasoning and it was yellow. It looked like this Old Bay thing.
I got you.
And it's the dopest thing. But I had this dude that was like was making clothing. This Mont Laurel brand it was called, shout out Mont Laurel and Troy from that. He makes it dope ass, but he makes his own clothing. So I was like, hey, make me these shirts that look like this. So he made that.
Okay.
And then when I went to a different job, someone recommended, hey, go to Bristol. There's a place called Primo Press. They can make some stuff. So I get some of this stuff made. I have these beanies. You can probably see on my
that's why
Instagram.
I was just going to ask you, too, because
like
I'm like, I think it's dope that, with a lot of the singles and stuff, you actually make the clothing to go with it. I think that's a dope package to have.
Yeah, so I try to do that, and it's like something that I guess it's just something I never thought I'd do or be interested in, and then I actually like it, and then honestly, it's just cool. At this point, it's not like I'm making any money off of it. It's more just like if someone requests, like, hey, make me this, get me that. Like, if they want to rock some Lil Dip gear, some Dip Trip. Then,
I need some of that.
Yeah,
I need some of that for the podcast.
I gotta show you. I'll start sending some stuff on your IG, so you can pick out which one you like.
Man.
But it's crazy.
Yes, sir. But to back to the other points and stuff. With this, you've done a lot of the stuff I did in the beginning, rapping, consistency, all that stuff. It's a hard era to make an album. It's a hard era to stick. Yeah. It's a hard era to do all that stuff in. What's next for you in terms of that? Do you want to make the album? Okay. You obviously talked about visuals. What's next for Lil Dip, man? Okay, well, nice out the gate. I do have an album. If you look on YouTube, I have an album called Nice Out the Gate. That's just, and Nice Out the Gate is just, I used to work at Enterprise years and years and years ago. And there was this, I was like 30. There was this dude that was 25. He was a cool ass dude. And we had an older coworker that played the guitar. So one time we're somewhere we're not supposed to be. We go in this music store and the dude's playing the guitar. Shit. Okay.
And I say to the dude I work with, I go, his name was Randy. I go, Randy, you play the guitar? You play any kind of instruments? And he's like, nah. He goes, I ain't got patience for that. He's like, I would just want to be nice out the gate. Oh, and that stuck with me. And I said, and this was when I was 30. So you got to understand, I didn't start rapping until I was 40. But I always put it in my head, if I have an album, it's going to be called Nice Out the Gate. So that's fucking dope. And it kind of sounds cool. And it looks dope. But anyways, so I do have an album on YouTube called Nice Out the Gate. It's my first album. Probably 10 songs on there. Right. It's a song called Dirty that's really good. It talks about breakups. You got to listen to that one. Yeah. Has a real cool musical, a lot of horns. It's real good for like teaching you to kind of just like know your worth as a person and all all those things that you go through, because you could beat yourself up sometimes. But there's some good songs. There's a song called Psyched Up that goes hard. But anyways, I've learned from doing that album. basically, I think it was more of, I'll be honest with you, it's like, I'll make a song. I made that one song. Right, I told you when I went to album. Then I'm like, okay, make another one. Then it's like, stop hanging out with the dude I made songs with. Now I got to find someone else to make songs with. Right. So then I'm doing that. Then I'm like, okay, maybe can I? And then I made a couple songs with you. Then I'm like, okay, I'm adding up some songs now. Maybe I can make an album. And then I came up with a concept of a few more songs to fill out the album. But it was more of like a goal for me just to have the album make me feel good about like my journey. You know what I mean? Right. So I did that. I learned from it because probably there's, I would say most of the songs are good on there, but like, I can't even say there's bad songs because like, every song means something to me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Course, man, but like, I know that maybe I would like to have maybe like a tighter direction somehow, some way next time.
Right. More of a storyboard.
More of a focus. But then again, I think we get lost in that a lot of times because when I started rapping, the main thing, you know this from when you rap probably, and you probably know this from podcasting, people got stuff to say a lot of times. And it's not always the most positive, but validation, positive or negative, you really can't pay attention to. But my point is, like, people have a lot to say, like how you process. A lot of people say to me, like, do you write it down? Does it matter really if it's all in my head or if I'm right? These are coming from me, but it's like people want to know if you're like have some kind of blueprint that you're writing down or you're doing whatever. And it's like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? Right. But to get back to an album, it's like, with that being said, I still would like to have a little bit more maybe of a concept for the next album. But like you said, it's kind of hard these days to catch people's focus or attention. Yeah. So I would say maybe, I mean, to be honest with you, I would like to do like maybe some kind of EP. I would love to maybe have something like with my boys from the Multiverse, do something maybe like a 5-song EP with them. Tape, Gotcha. Maybe with them. My boy Fatal Book, we have 2 songs together that I would like to do maybe a project with him.
Dope.
We have these 2 songs you got to listen to. Rap is a Gift is a dope song. That Moji's on it. He's at the end too. Right. And I have a song called Love and War too, which is a totally different song.
I caught a little bit of it.
Just listen to that song. It's different. It sounds so much different. But anyways, Love and War. But Rap is a Gift is dope because basically that's what we were trying to get across is like a lot of people, it was like in the media when a lot of people were saying that rappers are dying or getting in jail.
Of course.
So I was like, they're trying to act like rap's a curse, like you definitely going to jail if you don't end up dead first. It needs to change. Hip hop gets a bad rap. Like basically, you listen to the rest of the verse, but basically the meaning of the song was like, yeah, people are saying that it's this and it's that, and it's people think it's all drill, kill, but you saw my videos. I'm rapping with a band. I'm doing this. I'm trying to do some positive.
I mean, listen, man, I'm here right now, and I'm a product of somebody who was depressed his whole life. Nothing. Rap saved my life, man. So.
Oh my God. What do you think? This when I had my first song. That's all I had at that moment. So that Old Bay, that's why that Old Bay verse, like, it actually goes kind of hard. Listen to that. If you see that, you'll see like a picture of like an Old Bay seasoning thing. I got you. So go listen to it. It's kind of hard, but so when I had my first few songs, that's how I met Drew and all those people because I was so proud of it. But don't get me wrong, like I was in a dark place. But you know this from artists. Most artists, that's where we start.
But that's where the best art comes from.
We start in that dark place, and. That's what I was saying. So I feel like it all happened at the right time for me because it happened when I needed it the most. Yes, and sir. It's when you're making songs, it's like, yeah, I'm making it. I want some fans, but we're making it for ourselves first in terms of like just the whole creative process. That's why I really like the open mic thing is because the open mic scene, you get some camaraderie. I've never felt like I was an artist. When I was in school, I played sports and stuff, but I never felt like I had any artistic ability. Right. I was like, I can't draw. And that's all I thought about. and then I didn't realize like, I can put words together.
There's
and
art.
Stuff.
There's art everywhere you look.
There's other types of art. Now that I'm being like accepted by different people in the art world, it's like, or different artists. Right. it's like they ain't even blinking an eye. Like,
hell no.
and even when they say my name, they ain't laughing. They just like, look, Dip, what's
All
up?
acceptance, man.
You know
That's,
what I
that's
mean?
why I love to hear. You know
That's
what I'm
why
saying?
I like
You right at home.
That's why when I tell you with working with Drew and them, it's like,
Yeah.
even when I saw the podcast, I'm like, I saw them shouting me out and stuff. I'm like, because I knew they fuck with me, but I always was wondering, like, I don't know, how much they fuck with me, but they don't. I realized that it is what I always thought it was that way. But I'm just saying that was like, I was like, damn, these dudes
dope.
really fuck with me. But it's like I give them the same and they give me the same type of energy. But working with different artists and seeing the talent, there's a lot of talent in CT. I like you doing this podcast because
man, thank you, appreciate
when
you.
I go to these open mics, man. It could be inspirational, but it can also put stuff in perspective in terms of just the talent in that one room on that one open mic in one city.
Hell
you realize, whoa, there's a lot of talent out here. Because honestly, when I go to Stella Blues and stuff, there's
amazing.
I mean,
it's amazing.
I'm a little blown away, and even the Hartford Artery, but I'm like, damn. I mean, but also. There's times when I feel like I killed it too. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? Where I'm like,
that was that was my first time when I got booked at YTH Fest. Shout out to Don ZOP. I got booked at YTH Fest, and when I walked in the room, there was 40 other artists. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, these guys are from Mass, these guys are from New York. And I remember I'm the first one off stage, and in the back he had a meet and greet with all the artists, and everybody I met was from Hartford and New Haven. I said, it's 40 of us. We're all talented. There's label reps in here. Yeah. These people are literally looking to sign contracts with us. They know something we don't. There's fucking talent here. You know what I'm saying? It's insane to walk into these rooms, into these open mics and be like, holy fuck, there's that many people that actually want to do this, and there's that many people that are that talented. Yeah,
because you were doing shows and stuff. So like even I gotta give a shout out to Early Morning Mob because they do a lot of stuff in Hamden. That's where I did my first show in the Cellar on Treadwell. It's a nice little small cool spot to do a show. But I mean, you're doing shows with all these artists, and like I say, you realize because to someone that's not in that, like if someone sees you at work and they think your music's good or whatever, they think, oh, you're gonna, you'll go on American Idol and you're a, you know what I mean? They think like a weird route. Not everyone, but you know what I mean? People have these weird things. Do this thing, and you're gonna be awesome. And you're like, no, I see lots of talent every day in this one little place, which is just. Compared to every state, every place, it's like there's so much talent out there. But I'm not saying to focus on that. I'm just saying it's something that you see and you notice. But I feel like it's all what you're doing it for, though, because a lot of people don't go on other people's barometer. Like a lot of people be like, you had to pay to get into your show, or you had to do this, or whatever. Hey, I'm doing it. Oh, you have to drive to New Haven.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not famous yet, man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you have to do this. Yeah. It's still. I'm still doing some positive stuff. I'm doing something. I'm investing in myself. I'm believing in myself. I'm being creative. So I don't really listen to a lot of that, but it's like a lot of people have these things where like either how much money you making, are you famous yet, or they think it's like not worth it, right?
I hate those fucking questions.
They think it's not worth it.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. It's like before you start anything, it's gonna be investing in something, right?
Like you're gonna be interviewing Jay-Z right away and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, where's Jay-Z?
That doesn't happen, man. You know what I'm saying?
And same with the music. It's like, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, there is a thing where like. I'm not ashamed. Like some people want to put on the front, like maybe they're doing more than what they are. I'm not ashamed.
Hell no.
I'm doing the open mic scene right now. I'm loving it. I've done like my first show. I'm doing another show at the Hartford Artery, like an official show.
Right.
Actually did one a couple weeks ago, an official show. We did this like it's called Artstronauts. It's like a play on astronauts, but it's a bunch of artists, singers, rappers, and everything. And we did like a 1 to 5 Saturday show. It was dope as hell, actually. Yeah. I was a little worried because I had to go to work later, and I'm like, I want to rest. I want to chill before I go to work. I'm like, well, you know what I mean, during the week. But then once the show came, that shit charged me up for the whole day. Gave me so much energy.
Hell yeah.
And plus, I got to rap in front because like different people who aren't always there when I'm, a different crowd. I saw, you can tell, you know how it is when you perform, right?
Oh, yeah,
you can tell you look in people's eyes, like you see out to the crowd, you can tell if they're effing with you or not, right?
Yeah, it's
You can see the energy. I'm not saying it happens every time, but happens a lot of times where they're effing with you and you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah,
and there's nothing that feels better than that. So we have a show it's February 17th, 1 to 5 on a Saturday. It might be the 10th. I would just check on their website, but they're shooting for the 17th of February. Okay. So my point is just doing actual shows, but like also doing the open mics. There's nothing wrong with it because I think sometimes you've seen it, right? Where there's some artists, they'll be like kind of comfortable in the studio.
Nah, you gotta get out there.
But not want to get out there.
You gotta get out there.
I think you gotta get out there because
get out there and do your thing.
Performance is a big part. But you say with remembering, I gotta be honest. I do about 50-50. I do some songs where the track's playing, no vocals.
Right.
And then you see me rapping with the band.
Yeah.
No, I don't have the vocals there, obviously. Right. But I'll do sometimes with it too. In the beginning, I used to be so worried about like stumbling on a word.
Hell yeah.
Also, you got to realize not everyone knows your words. You got to just pick up where you left off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this interview right here. This is one for the making. You've told me a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I just wanna let you know that we had a quick intermission. You know what I'm saying? Camera problems, but just like I was telling Lil Dip, man, you know, it's been an interesting interview. Yeah. I want to thank you for coming on and just fucking with the Standout podcast. Everything that you're doing with Drew is dope. I gotta definitely tap back in with the music. You know, I tried to tap in with as much as I possibly could in this window, you know.
There's only so much you could hear.
Right.
But I'm glad you listened to the new one that I dropped. I really wanted to drop that right before the podcast because it kind of means a lot to me. I told you I was giving a shout out to the open mics, but definitely tap into that. And we got to get on Drew, have him put that Baja Rally. But like,
put it out, man.
I went over there the other day. I don't know if you ever met Steve, but he has a buddy Steve that plays the guitar.
Hell yeah.
And they had a song because we had an original thing. This one's new to me, and this song goes crazy. But my point is, what we already had is insane. Like I told you, maybe 3 or 4 songs, but everything on there, it's crazy. Okay. And there's a lot of, there's singing, there's rapping, but there's some serious MCs on there, man. I would. Let's get on Drew to
drop that, man.
Drop it right away.
Where can they find you at, Lil Dip? Let them know.
Find me at Nice Out the Gate, all lowercase NICEOUTTHE Gate GATE. But find me there on Instagram. You should probably be able to reach my music through that. But also on Spotify, just search Lil Dip. Maybe search a song like. I don't know. I have a song called Superhero. Put Lil Dip Superhero. You'll be able to catch the rest of my music there. SoundCloud as well. Lil Dip. Put in like Superhero or Dirty. Put in those. You'll be able to see me on those platforms right now.
Yes, sir.
And they'll be able to find me there. And like if you think you might want some merch, you look on IG, you might be able to see some of my like beanies and my hoodies and stuff. Just DM me and I'll try to set something up.
Yes, sir. Listen, this is the Standout podcast where everyone and anyone could be a standout. I had a Lil Dip in the building, man. Something
they don't want to swim.
Something serious,
they just want a little dip.
Something serious. Hell yeah. Listen, man, it's been nothing but a pleasure. I thank you for coming.
For sure.
Drew,
I appreciate the opportunity.
Man, we love you.
Drew, you got to drop that, though.
Hell yeah, you got to drop that shit. Nice out the gate. That's for real. You already know what it is.
We ain't good in a little bit.
Hell yeah.
We nice out the gate.